Centrally located in the heart of London's Docklands, Millennium Mills is an iconic landmark, standing alongside London Excel, the City Airport and the Thames Barrier. This huge 11-storey industrial mill occupies some 55,000 cubic metres and sits within a site spanning 50 acres. Originally built in 1905 and redeveloped in the 1930s and 1950s, the mill was once home to food manufacturer Spillers for flour and animal feed processing, but has remained derelict and abandoned for over 20 years. Its unique environment has led it to being featured as a backdrop to numerous movies, TV shows and music videos. Renovation of this vast site is part of a high-profile £3.5 billion project led by the Silvertown Partnership to transform the Royal Docks, returning the site to its former glory, including a new commercial hub, 3,000 new homes, gardens and additional leisure and cultural facilities. Rhodar was commissioned as principal contractor, funded by the Department for Communities and Local Government and the Greater London Authority, to oversee the process of returning the building to its original structural shell. Work started in November 2014 as part of a 10-month programme that was meticulously planned to remove all hazardous materials whilst retaining numerous original features throughout the building. The building itself was extremely dangerous, with 100-foot openings, unsafe timber flooring, extensive raw metalwork and machinery. It also contained a number of hazardous materials, including widespread asbestos contamination in the wall paints, thermal insulation pipework, partitions and flooring. An extensive setup program was required before works could commence. Security fencing was erected to control the 50-acre perimeter, along with 24-hour surveillance facilities. Electricity and fuel, water and drainage all had to be sourced, stored and managed, along with the construction of a large welfare and office zone to cater for and support the needs of up to 90 staff and contractors working on the site each day, including an IT and comms infrastructure. Site-wide distribution of temporary services was established for the overall project delivery, and a fire assessment was completed along with the installation of an alarm sensor system. Access and egress locations were set up using a combination of passenger hoists, temporary work scaffolding, and bespoke staircases were constructed both internally and externally to the building. The site also presented many unique challenges. Due to its close proximity to London City Airport and low-flying aircraft, a working at height clearance was required, along with permits for all works above the envelope of the building to ensure safe working practices. Another challenge involved the relocation of a bat colony from within the building to a new accommodation installed on self-supported roosting boxes. Split into 3 different zones, Zones A, B and C, work was run simultaneously from top to bottom, following a sequential program of scaffolding, pre-cleaning, dismantling and kit removal, asbestos works, and finally the demolition of internal walls and floors. The building first had to be made safe for working, utilising structural engineers. All openings, drops and unsafe flooring were protected with hand railings, overlaid with scaffolding frames and boarding, repaired or supported independently from below. Site teams were well briefed each day with toolbox talks and tight task-specific management. All areas were then pre-cleaned to remove all debris and waste material from the floors and cleaned and vacuumed using specialist equipment. Most of the building's old machinery and equipment was then cut out and removed, leaving the rooms clear for the next phase of works. Many items being marked for attention so they could be reinstalled at a later date as a fixture of the refurbishment. Some larger, integral features, such as the mill's flower shoots, remained in situ throughout. Lift shafts were utilised where possible to remove smaller metalwork, with excavators clearing and sorting materials into skips so it could be recycled and processed off-site. Prior to the core asbestos removal work, full enclosures were erected in each section and smoke tested for their integrity, suitable negative pressure and air movement. These were conducted by the client's UCAS analysts across each floor, which typically utilised up to 20 negative pressure units. The amount of air moved through the site's enclosures was to such a level that a volume equating to Wembley Stadium was effectively being moved each day. For each shift, our removal operatives transited to their work enclosure and utilised the latest dustless shot blasting equipment, along with airline breathing apparatus. This system, using recycled glass particles managed at ground level, proved extremely effective at removing all asbestos paint and debris throughout the building to strip back the surface of the walls and ceilings to the required raw state. All asbestos waste was secured in bags and transported in wheeled waste bins to the skips located at ground level. Air monitoring was routinely carried out during this process. Locked waste skips were strictly monitored and regularly uplifted for transport to licensed asbestos landfill sites. All gates in and out of the compound were manned to monitor and control all vehicle access and movements of the various contractors and suppliers. At the end of each shift, operatives then transited safely from the enclosure to the hygiene units for decontamination. Each area then received a thorough fine clean, and a 4-stage clearance was undertaken by the UCAS analyst to reveal the certified, pristine rooms, transformed from their previous contaminated state. In addition to the asbestos removal, the project also incorporated a number of other core tasks. Timber flooring was removed on various levels and processed for recycling. A large steel infill, spanning across the upper level of the building, was removed using mechanical and hand dismantling techniques at heights exceeding 40 metres, working from lorry-mounted, high-reach powered access cradles and personal cages. Throughout the works, our team has held weekly site meetings with the client and its various representatives. And with the project being very much in the public eye, we've also had regular visits by dignitaries and TV crews reporting on progress. Furthermore, the site has been assessed as part of the Considerate Constructors Scheme and attained the highest Performance Beyond Compliance rating. The successful conclusion of this asbestos removal phase by Rhodar completes stage 1 of the redevelopment of this prestigious site and is a key step towards the realisation of the overall Silvertown Docklands vision over the next decade.